My name is Eamon Keane. I'm a senior software engineer in Storm Technology here based in Galway. We recently won the 2025 AtlanTec AI Challenge with our project called NeuroKind. We weren't expecting to win, but this was quite a personal project to me, as it turns out, when we went through it. And what we wanted to do was just see how we could leverage AI to bring a bit of calm to one of the most chaotic parenting scenarios, which is caring for a child with a pathological demand avoidance profile. So brush your teeth. For most people, that's a totally harmless request. But for my friend Aoife, saying that to her son Max can trigger a complete meltdown, resulting in screaming, panic, and even throwing things. Not because Max is defiant, but because he has a pathological demand avoidance profile. For Max, even the gentlest instructions, like brush your teeth, can trigger a meltdown and feel like a threat. Today I'm going to tell you a story about Aoife, about her son Max, and about how we use technologies to bring a bit of calm to their environment. Pathological demand avoidance is a profile on the autism spectrum where even the most gentle of instructions can cause extreme anxiety to the child. Children with PDA aren't just being oppositional, they're trying to preserve a sense of safety. This results in things like asking them to get dressed or brush their teeth or go to bed, causing a meltdown or shutdown or explosive behaviours. The tools they're given don't work, and they're told to be firm. This kind of makes things even worse. So in terms of numbers, approximately 5% of Irish children are being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 20. The WHO put it at 1 in 100 worldwide. There are countless other sensory sensitivities, such as ADHD, along with PDA, or pathological demand avoidance, which aren't formally diagnosed, but those people and the parents still face daily challenges with these kind of things. They're navigating extremely complex scenarios with limited tools and very little support. So what do? Many, like Aoife, will lean on things like ChatGPT. So she's a friend of mine. She used to use ChatGPT to craft declarative language prompts for her son Max, which would ease transitions in the mornings and evenings for things like going to bed. So she could type in something like, write a low-demand script for bedtime for my 6-year-old who resists all routines. He's currently into Star Wars and has a new Star Wars Lego set. But she kind of has to repeat this every time, as we know. You have to prompt it each time. The memory isn't good. The UX, UI isn't great. It's duct tape. It's not really a solution. So we thought on this AtlanTec AI Challenge, what if we could make it better? What if it remembered your child? We imagined something that adapts every time and acts as an assistant, not just a tool. And that's where NeuroKind began. And that's just a screenshot of the profile screen. So here's how NeuroKind works. So it's a simple mobile web app that we put together. The caregiver or the parent will add their child's interests, their unique preferences, some of their dislikes and their likes. They then go and pick on a transition. So for the hackathon or the AI challenge, we just added bedtime and off to school as 2 examples. They then choose the steps. So in this example, we picked brush teeth, but it could be something like a bedtime story. And then they choose how they want this to be delivered. So one of the things I learned from Aoife was sometimes she might need a visual prompt as opposed to an auditory prompt for her son Max in order to help the transition going to bed. So we added 3 different ways of doing that. So it could be a visual prompt, a low-demand action prompt, or a script that you would read out. So the app thing brings all that together. So it brings the profile of the child together. It uses the steps that she picked, and it uses the strategy. And then it delivers the prompt or the script to Aoife on a couple of different options at the same time, which allows her then to read this out to Max when she wants to help him transition to bed. It generates them in a kind of a personal, a gentle, and a kind of effective way. So she's doing more clicking of buttons as opposed to typing through ChatGPT. So this is what it looks like in the real life. This is my friend Aoife. She said she was already using ChatGPT, but it isn't always easy to get the right language to craft that declarative language. Especially after a long day's work, typing furiously into ChatGPT wasn't going to be the best solution. What she needed was something that would give her the words when she couldn't find them herself. She said, NeuroKind helps me find the right declarative language or action prompts, allowing me to support my child with compassion, reduce anxiety, and accessing nervous system safety for him in the moment. So that was our metric for success. Let's go back to that phrase, brush your teeth. So for a child with a PDA profile, it's not just a routine instruction, it can be a potential trigger. So with NeuroKind, we transform that into something calmer, safer, and more inviting. Like, I noticed your toothbrush is ready on the sink. Sometimes it feels nice to have a clean teeth before a cozy bedtime story. No pressure, no command, just an observation. Pair that with a gentle sensory cue and a soft emotional anchor. So let me step back for a second and show you where this kind of fits in on the innovation matrix. So this is called the good idea matrix. Some people might be familiar with this. On the x-axis we have whether the challenge is new or if it's long-standing, and on the y-axis we have whether the solution is old or new. NeuroKind fits on the top right-hand side. So with a long-withstanding challenge, so declaring or crafting declarative language for a PDA profile child, with a brand new solution. As part of this AI challenge, we didn't try to boil the ocean. We took cutting-edge AI in OpenAI's 4.0 model, narrowed our scope really far down to one real problem, which was crafting declarative language for a PDA profile child, and used it to help families like Aoife, where existing tools fall short. So finally, so some challenges aren't new, they're old and familiar, like a parent dreading putting their child to sleep or putting their child to bed because they don't like the words brush your teeth. What's new is what we can do about it. So tools like generative AI allow us to solve these problems with new technologies, problems that wouldn't have been able to be solved in a couple of years before this. The tech only matters when we focus, and that's what happens when we pair new tools with old empathy. We don't need new hype, we need more help, and AI can be that help. Thank you. That's it.